One thing that happened to me once, my car got lit up, so I had to rock a rental, and my rental got towed. And I didn't know, like, what the license plate was. I didn't even know what the fuck to ask for. Like, where is this fucking rental? And so I ended up finally figuring it out, but dude, it took forever. Because, like, how do you even know where it goes?
Yeah. No.
Like, if you take someone's whip, and, like, they don't know where it is, how do they find out where the fuck it is?
Okay.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 yo, go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day.
We're back on Be the Product here.
Towed and Saco, by the way. Who the fuck did it? Alright?
No.
Never. Samuel, the Solar Man Legere. Welcome to Be the Product.
Glad to be here. Glad to be part of the
Glad to have you on here, bro.
It is.
Of course.
Why don't you give the audience a quick introduction?
I don't have too much of an introduction. Honestly, I feel like the biggest praise is you guys having me on this. I didn't even know I was important until I'm like on this podcast for the first time.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
But I mean, I think it's just a big difference because I think I'm a bit older than you guys. You know, you guys are like you just got out of college, so I'd say we have similar paths, right?
Right.
Like you guys hopefully will be way ahead of me when you're my age.
No way.
But
We want to. We want to.
That's
I
the
mean,
goal.
dude, when I was your guys' age, I was nowhere close to where you guys are now. So, but we're definitely like-minded, and I just got a little bit more time on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say, you know, obviously a business owner, taking a lot of risk in my life, a lot of fucking risk. Done whatever I could to make a good amount of money for my age and try to be a top 1% earner, and just do it with
The risk is what
As much
got you
fun.
here, though.
Yeah.
Oh, damn right.
That's a problem. A lot of people aren't willing to take it, but I think it's cool because you're the first like more established person that we've had on. You're a business owner. Everybody else is kind of starting with us. You know what I mean? You're the first person that's already taken steps ahead of us. So rather than us talking to somebody else about people that we saw online, this one is kind of more learning from somebody who's actually done it, which is kind of cool. This is the first person that we've had on that we can actually ask you questions because you've made the mistakes that we're going to run into. You know what I mean?
I love it. Dude, you guys are going to be so far ahead of me, though, when I'm about to be 28 here in a few weeks.
That's fucking crazy.
You know,
I don't look at you
feel
as someone-
old.
That's still young, though.
I just look like a kid. I'm going to look like that for the rest of my life. The cards I was dealt.
I know, but the conversations that we have, it doesn't seem like there's a 6 age gap difference, you know? And I think that's partly you raising your expectations and expecting the same out of me.
I mean, even just with this podcast, so the trajectory that you guys are going, like, with the mindset that you guys have, and I wrote down a couple of things to talk about too, but like, that growth mentality, like, where are you guys going to be at 28?
Right.
I'm sure you guys put a lot of thought into that. Like, where do you guys want to be at 28?
I think that we talked a lot about zooming out, especially with this, because you can sit there and crunch we gained 1 follower today. Like, you know what I mean?
Let's go.
But if you zoom out far enough and we just stay consistent, that's the plan. You know what I mean? We're starting young enough that consistency and being able to grow our actual product, like the camera views, everything else, eventually, hopefully, we'll be able to get a better setup and get bigger people on, but...
Yeah, we have hopes and dreams. Cooper Flag.
Yeah, we want Cooper Flag bad. If anybody out there knows Cooper Flag, love to get his number.
One thing I will say, you will always miss these times.
Yeah.
Okay? I just had a throwback happen on my fucking Snapchat. Can I swear on this thing?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck yeah.
Alright. Fuck yeah! We just every other word so fucking yeah, so fucking this fucking no, my Snapchat like throwback was, you ever like been to Home Depot and like where they have all the plywood?
Yeah.
Well, they also have like it's almost like a whiteboard piece of plywood.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even really completely meant for whiteboard stuff though.
Yeah.
But me and my good buddies that I first started doing sales with, we got one. It was like huge, bro. Like covered the whole wall. And we were doing a bikini brand at this time. We wanted to do a bikini brand. And we had drawings up on the wall, and it looked like a kid drew them, bro. It was so terrible. And I just remember zooming into it, then zooming back my friend's face, and he's just like, like so ridiculous. And I'm just like, what were we doing at that time? But like, you miss it because it's so funny when you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like that's when all the memories happen. Like that's when you fall on your face. That's when you like embarrass each other.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like those are the things that like you remember. Like that's how you build bonds together too.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's an aspect of this for us because we wanted to do something and have the idea behind it, get that phase. You know what I mean? Like people will watch us grow and we'll be able to look back and be like, what were we doing? Like we know this. Our first few videos were definitely cringy. We're probably cringy right now, but like it's gonna be fun to look back on and laugh at. But
Even just like listening to our voice in the first podcast, it's in the first 5 seconds. I was shitting bricks.
me too.
You were staring at yourself in the camera, which you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I'm glad you turned that.
Yeah.
we have ours facing
Oh.
facing us. It's whatever.
I don't know.
So-
It's like it's not there now. But at
You
first
kinda
it
get
was
used to
all
it.
you did was just stare at yourself.
Oh my lord,
But-
that's what I look like.
Yeah.
Who, if you guys could have one person like in the whole world on your podcast, don't fucking say me, on this podcast, who would it be?
One for each of us.
Yeah, you go first.
Shooting for the stars, aiming for the moon. Justin Waller.
Justin Waller.
You know, Cowboy?
No, I don't.
You'd know him if you saw him.
If you saw him.
He's like big. He got his money from like the steel industry. He's like a blue collar, like built his way up, but now he's like an influencer. But he's a really.
He's going to that limitless.
I like him. Yeah, the show that we're.
You gotta
Oh,
come.
really?
You gotta
Yeah,
hop on
he's
this.
one of the guys.
You
that,
gotta
Yeah, that guy messaged me about tickets, but I was like, hey, like my buddy Alec told me about this, but I don't really know who the fuck is like speaking at all.
Yeah.
Can I have like a link or something? And he just never replied, but
Oh, that's weird. Yeah, I mean it's like Goggins going, Justin Waller.
Gary Brecka.
Yeah, a few of those guys.
all fire.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it'd
All
be cool.
fire.
It would be cool. Me, I would have to say like Elon Musk.
Really?
I'm a big like
Those are
sci-fi,
two
like-
really different people.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, I'm a little nerdy with the space stuff. Even though I'm not that educated on it, I just
I would
like,
never pin you to be a nerdy guy, by the way. I'm sure most people would say that.
You guys want to hear a deep secret? I'm
Oh, boy.
obsessed with the pyramids.
Oh, I knew this. I so knew this.
Anybody who really knows me, I'm obsessed with the fucking pyramids, dude. Like, when we go on vacations, my parents want to go sit on a
Can we
beach.
see the pyramids, please? Like,
I want to go, like,
Dad's like,
like, I want to go to Egypt. That's, like, on my bucket list. That'd be super cool.
dude, I'm gonna be honest. Deepest secret, I hate the fucking pyramids.
Fuck you, buddy.
No, I'm just kidding. But I am curious, what happens when you fucking get there? You
No.
just like,
Well,
and
I
you
just think
leave?
that it's
I'd rather see
more...
family.
How long are you there for? Like, we just.
Okay,
Looking at
it's
pyramids.
more about the curiosity factor of the pyramids. Like how they were
How they were
built,
actually
how they were
built.
actually built, everything, and like you don't realize like the actual mass of it until you're in front of it. Like you can watch videos and everything, but it's not the same.
True.
I wanna see it. But
That's fair.
who would you if you had a podcast? What would be your one person?
Kevin Hart.
Oh, that's a good
Oh,
one too.
good one.
Yeah. Because he'd be funny as hell, and also he'd.
You guys would get along.
Yeah, I gotta rep, you gotta rep with the Short Kings, right? But, I mean, dude, he's funny, obviously,
Right,
like,
yeah.
one of the funniest people in the whole world, and then also, he's an actual animal when it comes to, like, work ethic
Oh
and
my
shit.
god, I know.
I mean, I don't really love him as an actor, to be honest with you, but, like, if he's listening to this, sorry, Kevin. But... I don't really love how he plays in movies as much as his stand-up. Like, his stand-up is, like, insane. But it's his work ethic. Like, how is he in as many things as he's in, doing as many things as he's doing? Like, he really is...
Did you watch he had like a little show on like his day-to-day. There was something out that I watched, and it was ridiculous.
It was like an inside the life thing.
Yeah.
But he has just like so many areas of his life that he does well in.
Because now he does like the production, so he's not only an actor, he's a producer.
Yep.
And then he has shows, he does a stand-up, he's touring.
When's the last stand-up that he's done, though?
Wasn't it Irresponsible Tour?
Oh, yeah.
I went to it in Portland.
I went to it, too, yeah.
Yeah. I think he's hilarious.
Yeah.
That was funny as well. But
someone else we talk about a lot is Alex Hormozy. He always gets brought up.
Yeah.
And then Chris Williams. I don't think I necessarily want him on, but I'd want to be on his.
Yeah.
Because he has a sick podcast.
It's just a different vibe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's very serious and like, I don't know. I like watching it, but I feel like I'd be terrible on it. Because he's like staring right into your eyes and asking.
Oh, he's like really
it's
intense.
really deep.
I've never seen.
If you watch Alex Hormozy, you probably saw him getting interviewed by.
Yeah, him and Chris Williams have done a few together.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of clips of them.
Is he like nerdier or is he like?
No.
I think is he British?
He's British or something.
Yeah.
He's from England.
Maybe I have heard something with him then.
Yeah.
I know Alex Hormozy has like a bunch of friends that like I've just never heard of, but it's like his boys.
Mhm.
Yeah, like always has on. But yeah, I mean Alex Hormozy's always talking about his come up.
Mm.
Like that's literally his story.
Crazy story.
Crazy
I feel like
story.
everyone who's made it that far has a crazy story.
Yeah, I feel like we just need to.
Yeah.
We just need to sleep on
Speaking
the
of crazy
sidewalk or
stories.
something so we can say that we did it. You know.
Right. You yourself have a crazy story.
Mm-hmm.
Bryant University.
Top 2%.
Had to throw it in there. Had to throw it in
Say
there.
that.
Top 2%. Would you study actuarial?
Actuarial mathematics.
Okay.
It's like very nerdy. I was awful at reading and writing. Still am. Like ADHD, can't keep my fucking eyes on the page, at the right spot. But something about math, I was just nice at. I can't really describe it. I always was from a younger age, and I just was like, all right, I'm just gonna take this, just keep going with it. And I went to the point, obviously, where I did actuarial mathematics. It's like calculus 3. Fucking boring shit you're never gonna use again. Like, realistically. And it took a long time for me to like have that kind of come to Jesus moment where I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Which, I mean, I was pushing my limits in college, like pulling all-nighters all the time, like doing that type of stuff, and it wasn't until I literally looked myself in the mirror, so exhausted, like,
What the fuck am I doing?
felt like I hit a total low, for sure, and was like, this is not how I want my life to be. And then I just studied abroad basically, and
you didn't study. You went abroad. You didn't study abroad.
Yeah, I didn't. Backed all my classes on Thursday. Didn't do anything really, but went abroad, and then just switched up from there and was like, that's not what life's about. Like all the other areas of my life are getting worse from me doing this one thing.
Yeah.
Except for maybe finances with that. But like sitting behind a cubicle all day, you think you get better at talking to people? You think you get like better at like being a dad? You think you get better at like being a good husband? I'm like, it doesn't align with any of the things that I really truly want.
Right.
And I'm not learning, and I just didn't feel like I was growing. I felt like I was so stuck.
Right.
So
It's a hard place to be. What point did you decide to move away?
when you say move away,
Didn't you moved down to Florida?
You're talking about physically moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, because I went abroad, that like totally opened everything up for me. I was like, whoa. I went to Australia. That was like, holy shit. That was like a wow moment for me. And then after that, I was like, I really do want to live somewhere warm. And just like randomly an opportunity presented itself to go to California. Like that's all I had in front of me. And something I had written down, to kind of talk about, like for me, it was really the saying that my grandfather always said, which is like Columbus took a chance and discovered America. I know Alex heard me say it all the time. People love that one, but I say it like my sales pitches all the time. But yeah, Columbus took a chance and discovered America. It's kind of like, my grandfather always said, it's kind of like, what do you have to lose? Or, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade type of thing.
Yeah.
And that was just the opportunity that was in front of me. It was door-to-door sales selling bug spray. And, like, dude, my family was, like, always hated it on sales. Like, I almost did Cutco knives.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, don't do this. I'm like, I backed out of Cutco knives. I mean, it's probably the most frowned upon job, I would say.
Yeah,
From
'cause
any parent's perspective.
it just has a label on it.
It has a label on it. It's not flashy at all. It's known as, like, you just grind like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, people basically let all their anger out on you.
Mm-hmm.
You're their punching bag. But after going and doing it with the group of guys that I was doing it with, it was just like a total mindset shift. I honestly think that was the biggest pivotal point in my entire life where, like, I really had to be fully committed. You can't really, like, half-ass it.
Yeah. And do you think that was the job itself or moving away from home?
It was the job itself.
Yeah.
The part of me moving away from home was more so just getting out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I think I still could have achieved that if I moved up the street.
Mm-hmm.
If I moved to Portland.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Although the biggest thing, though, was, like, I did kind of have to get away from a lot of the friends that I grew up with a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I love them all. Like, they're all amazing. But, I mean, you know, it was mainly just we were smoking pot and, like, burn cruising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't going to lead to, like, the ambitions that I just had eating me up inside. So,
Yeah.
for that, I kind of had to dip, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
You always mention dummy taxes. I know you brought this up today with me. Explain what dummy tax is, and if you don't mind, could you, like, elaborate some dummy taxes that you've paid along the way?
That's a good point. Dummy tax. Basically, it's when you don't know what the hell you're doing, and you're just trying to figure it out along the way, and you pay what's called dummy tax, because you're a dummy. You don't know what the hell you're doing. Yeah, you got to figure it the hell out. I paid so much dummy tax. I'm still paying dummy tax to this day. It's expensive. But yeah, dummy tax, I'd say the biggest dummy tax that I've paid. A lot of stuff to do with contracts, a lot of stuff to do with delegation, like really understanding the process. What I really had written down that I wanted to, touch on was the process. Like the process that I've really figured out, that I really think every young guy or girl should do to find success. And number one, it kind of starts with, like, the grass is not always greener on the other side.
Yeah.
Like, the grass is greener where you water it. That was a dummy tax that I really paid big time. I mean, I was in college doing actuarial, wanting to go abroad, starting a clothing brand at the same time. Like, I'm doing all these things thinking that it's like I'm finding my passion here, I'm finding my passion there. The shiny object is always going to come around, but real success comes in the repetition. Mm-hmm. Shai Gillis said this. You guys know Shai Gillis on the Thunder?
Yeah.
He was interviewed at the end of the game. They're like, Shai, you've averaged, like, whatever he's been averaging. Like,
Probably 32 or something.
dude, it was like,
ridiculous.
you've got over 35 points for the last however many games, and X amount of rebounds, X amount of boards, like, whatever. And they're like, how do you do it? How are you so consistent? And he's like, his response was, my whole life is consistent. When I wake up, it's consistent. I wake up at the same time, I eat at the same time, I go to bed at the same time. And it sounds so boring. It really sounds so boring. But it's that repetition that truly successful people do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really successful people do. Like, those people that you said you wanted to interview, Elon and, what was his name?
Justin Waller.
Justin Waller. Like, I guarantee you, like, how many times they were just, like, tired.
Right.
And just, like, had to just keep doing it. Keep going. Keep going. So, I really believe that those are the times that the current you is, like, truly the ceiling on your own potential. and you gotta like break through, like literally find a breakthrough and change who you are to kind of raise that ceiling, if you will. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I feel like a lot of people, and I feel like this is where I'm coming from right now. You mentioned like breaking the ceiling. I feel like a lot of people are trying to break through the ceiling, but they'll punch and punch and punch the same spot and eventually move to a different spot. So what I mean by that is they try something over and over again, but don't actually break through and actually revert to a different route and try punching a different hole, if that makes sense.
Do you mean in the sense that they go about the same problem in a different way, or do you think that they go about they leave their problem and go to something different?
Yeah, I think they leave their problem and try something different. And the reason why I say that, in sales there's a whole bunch of turnover, and people come and go. A lot of people don't find success very quickly. Those that do, there's always a period of time where they're not as successful as they once were. And I feel like some of them feel the need to change course. When I strongly believe that staying on the path that they're on is the most optimal for them. Like you always say, you're where you need to be. You're right where you need to be. And it's a matter of continuing to punch the same hole and eventually you'll break through.
Right. Or even also like going about it a different way, like taking that, at a different angle.
Take a hammer to it instead of your fist.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
From an outsider perspective, in sales, I think that not everybody has the vision to see the future and realize that if they're grinding, because it's not something that comes today. You know what I mean? You can do something today, but you guys don't get paid for X amount of days. You know what I mean?
That's the hardest part.
It is the hardest part, at least that I've heard or seen with you guys. But some people just don't have that vision of the future. You know what I mean? They want it now. So as soon as they start, they don't want to put the time and work in today to get it down the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, delayed gratification
Exactly
ultimately is what's going to make you the most successful. Yeah, I mean, I've had times where, like, I waited and waited and waited, and a couple months later, get the direct deposit of whatever 90,000 hits the bank account, and you're like, oh wow, I'm really glad I've
exactly.
Then, for the time being though, I was like, fuck man, like I just like really want to have a breakthrough, but I made what I had work, and then it's like, I honestly think that that's the best way to do it in your young 20s though, because when you hit that, like, hit that gold mine, or you hit that well, or you get that one big breakthrough, it's so easy to take a check like that and just be like, I'm dumping half of this in savings. Which is really why I have way more savings than any of my buddies when we talk about it. The guys on W-2s, the guys on the consistent paychecks, they figure out how to spend their paycheck. They're like, oh, I got $4,000 coming in every month, or whatever. I got $1,500 coming in every week, right? Yeah. Like, I know I can afford this, this, and this. I'm comfortable. Like, this is what my life can support. I can support this. But for me, I'm like, I try to live below my means because I don't know if I'm going to go on a dry spell for a certain amount of time, right? Yeah. But then again, by doing that, I strike gold, and it's like, yeah, right into the Robin Hood, right into the no, see you later. But yeah, dude, I definitely agree with that. I hope that someday I'm truly rich enough to cover all of my kids' college tuition. I didn't have that opportunity, but I've always said I'm gonna make one caveat, and it's that they have to do at least one summer of door-to-door sales. Like that's like my number one thing. Like, I'll pay for your school, you gotta do a summer of door-to-door sales. Like, that's going to be one of my big things. And then maybe something along the lines of, like, you have to finish, I don't know, a certain, you can't be dead fucking last. You can't be smoking weed the whole time, right? But you got to actually, like, do it and do well at it. And I'll cover it. Because it's those experiences that you are facing yourself the most. Like, no one's really stopping you from hitting that next level other than yourself. Yeah. And it's a tough realization when you start looking in the mirror, like, why the fuck am I not making, $20,000 a month like he is? Like, why is he doing better than me?
Yeah.
And I know you two are ultra competitors. I see you at the gym the whole time. One-on-one on the basketball court. I know you guys are competitors. And you guys have that dog in you. And I think it's the guys like you that, like, gotta go for sales because you're constantly against yourself every day.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of times I put my issues against someone else's. And what I mean by that is I compare myself to someone else's success. And I think that really hurts me because it's not helping me at all. I'm not focusing on the right areas that I need to improve on, the areas that I continue to say that I need to improve on. Rather, I'm like, oh, he did it this way. Let's jump ship and try to do it exactly as he did.
Copy paste what he did.
Right. Everyone's different. Everyone has a different sales tactic. The way that you talk to people is going to be dramatically different the way that I talk to people at the doors. We had someone the other day. We gotta talk about this. Knocking on a door. The guy just pulled into his driveway, coming home from work. The last thing they want is a door-to-door guy to go up to their door. So I knock on the door, go through my pitch. I could tell he was like a little salty. I was like, hey man, like I'm just trying to help you out with your utility bill. It's all good. And I walked away. He slams the door. I'm like, oh, that's not a good one. So I turn around, walk away. Sam's sitting in his truck right outside the house.
I'm just talking to Rory. Like, I don't even know what's happening. I just see him move on to the next. I don't think anything's happening of it. And then he comes up. You leave. You're nowhere to be found. No, you know what you did? You came up to my truck. You're like, I'm gonna go grab my car real quick. You didn't tell me how it actually went down. That there was like beef between you two. Next thing I know, he comes out. He's like, you better get the fuck out of here. I'm like, what just happened? He's like, you're fucking buddies. Like saying something about you, taking pictures of my license plate. I'm like, dude, what the heck is happening right now? I call you. I'm like, dude, you really teed that one up for me. Like, thanks, buddy.
Set him up for failure. That's for sure.
Awesome.
But dude, you actually just made me think about a fucking hilarious story. Everyone has their own path to success. And my story with that was my buddy Mike Cerrone. Freaking love Mike. Shout out Mike if you end up hearing this.
Mike,
he took me under his wing actually big time. Sales came super naturally to him, and I sucked at it so bad at the start. I'll never forget. Like I was like, dude, you're bringing in like so much money every single week. It was pissing me off. I always thought like, we were equals, and here he is just blowing me out of the water. And finally I was like, dude, I came home with like a case of beer, and I was like, you're staying up tonight with me, and I'm videoing your entire pitch. I'm giving you every single objection, and then you're going to video me do it. And I have videos to this day. It's like the most embarrassing thing. You'd look at me and be like, who was that? I look ridiculous. But yeah, like just hit him with every objection, videoed how he did it, and then I'd watch it, and then the next night I'd practice it, and I'd video myself. But going back to what you said, like trying to copy somebody else, he was a Marine. He was in the Marines. So I thought the whole reason he was getting sales is because he like pulled the Marine card out. So like that next week I just started telling people I'm in the Marines. Not even gonna lie. I'm like, you know what? I think he's only getting, because I'm finding every excuse, and that's what we do. We justify as to why we aren't good at something and pin it. Oh, it's just on something else. It's not me. It's just Mike's in the Marines.
Yeah.
So I ended up going door to door saying, I used to be a Marine. I rookie guy here. One guy goes, I used to be in the Marines too. What unit were you in? I'm like, 6. And he fucking called me out so bad. He blew me up. He's like, it's not even a unit. He's like, you fucking lying? Get the fuck off my property. I'm like, oh shit, this is so bad. It's like, it was so bad. So that was the last time I did that, and I was like, alright, it's obviously not that. So I ended up figuring, obviously learning how it's actually overcoming the objections, but more so putting my own twist on it and like owning it and owning who I was to be genuine. And that is what ultimately started leading to success, not me saying that I was a Marine
Right.
on the doors.
Yeah.
I feel like people that I've talked to that knew you before I even met you, Lasante, Ford for one of them. Everything that I've heard was Sam Legere is such a character, and that was it. And you fucking like approached the doors with that too. Have you ever always had that at the doors, or was there ever like a time where, obviously like there's a beginning, there's nerves, and you're not as confident and stuff, but have you always used your personality to your advantage?
You touched on two things I want to talk about. One thing, I'll answer your question, but one thing you just said is the nerves. I was the most anxious person growing up. I'm not joking when I say this. Saco middle school dance, I puked in the bushes every single time before the dance.
No.
Like I'm dead ass. I was so nervous. I don't know what it was before the dances. I puked before Little League tryouts. I puked. I had like severe anxiety. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
My.
I know. And then I heard Will Smith actually said, God put the best things in life on the other side of fear. That stuck with me. Like, that was a life-changing moment right there. And then another thing I had heard, I don't know who said this, but the brain doesn't know the difference between anxiety and excitement. So every time you get that feeling in your stomach that you have been taught to say it's nervousness, you just tell yourself that you're excited, and it just completely changes your mood, completely changes your outcome.
I used that in sports in high school. I heard that quote, and when I would be nervous for a big game, I'd be like, I'd just get hyped.
Yeah,
I'm you just change. You got to flip your mindset.
Yeah, this is it, and you should really be chasing that, because like that's really where growth is. Like you're pushing yourself. You're seeing a whole new limit, a whole new world.
You only get
it's something you're not used to. Like, you should be excited. Like that's what you wanted. Right?
You only get
you
it
wanted that
outside
big
of
game.
Your comfort zone. That's the only time that you ever experience those butterflies, because it's something that you don't do every day, or something you're not good at, or it's a big stage, and that's where you grow, right?
Yeah, facts. And going back to, the question that you asked was like, was I always a character? The answer to that part is yeah. I was always a class clown, always just like embarrassing myself for other people's amusement, right? But I don't necessarily think that that's what got me to where I am. Did I use it to my advantage a lot of times? 100%. But it's also very hard for people to take me seriously a lot of times, because a lot of times I'm the polar opposite of that.
Right.
Which is being like a jokester. So it's a gift and a curse, I'd say, and like real success is kind of found in the middle. And if you are someone who is naturally in the middle, like I would say that you're really good at kind of hitting that switch. That's really the sweet spot you want to be for business.
Right.
Yeah, that's what definitely I would say on that.
There we go.
Makes sense. Yeah, definitely as a person in business, you got to be able to be in the middle like that, because you got to show excitement to your employees or coworkers, but at the same time know when it's business. You know what I mean?
Right.
I see struggles with that in some aspects of here. Like,
Yeah.
you got to know when this is your job. Like, we're here to work, and it's not all horseplay.
I want to ask you guys something, because I hear you talk about this quite a bit. You came into the gym the other day. It was like a rainy ass day, and you're like just dragging yourself in. You're like, fuck this weather, dude. Like, I need to be somewhere warm. And you asked me the question, like, is it the location? Like, is it moving out that made you successful? What do you think? Like, where's your headspace at now? Where you're at now? And like,
I think that I just felt very stuck, especially before this. And I saw a lot of things from people just saying, like, for a period of time, just get away, see what you like, do a different thing. And all I know is this town. All I know is my job. I've been doing this job since I was 15 years old. Like, this is all I know. And I just felt like I was getting drawn into the rat race.
I'm just took a chance and discovered that.
Let's
Okay?
go.
That's where you gotta just go for it, dude.
Yeah.
Just shoot for the stars. Screw it. Just like send it, whatever it is.
Exactly.
One thing I put down, I think I might have already said it, but I want to talk about it a little bit more, is kind of that, you know, obviously the goal is you growing, right? And you don't feel like you can grow as much kind of doing what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds to me like you're a little bit stuck more so on like what is the process to start growing?
Mm-hmm.
Do I move? Do I do this? Do I do that? Like your life can go in so many different directions. And both of you guys, like you have this entrepreneurial spirit, like, do I start this? Do I start that?
Mm-hmm.
The reality is you just want to do something that you can just start working on yourself. That's it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of, again, why I love sales. And that's why I think that the best process for young guys is to start with sales. First learn how to sell, then learn how to teach, and then learn how to scale. If you can learn those 3 things in a row, like consecutively, I think you can do any business.
Mm-hmm.
Any business.
Yeah.
Because if you don't know how to sell, you don't really know how to like lead people.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm.
Like, I don't know if you see like Drew Brees, like huddle, like his huddle highlights when he's like saying things in the huddle and stuff. Like, dude speaks from the heart. Dude knows how to like truly sell. And people think sales is like lying,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not. It's about being truly convinced on something and like speaking from here and knowing how to like tap into that.
Mm-hmm.
And by doing that, you can move mountains. Like you can move people.
Yeah.
And, you know, like that sales then translates into everything else. Like why you convince the woman of your dreams to marry you. You know, why you convince your kids it's a good idea to go to school that day when they put oatmeal in the toilet and said it was throw up.
Yeah.
You know, whatever it is, you need to know how to sell on every single day. Get a promotion. Sell your dad on why it's a better idea for you to go to a different location.
Mm-hmm.
Say peace out to the business. It takes like a real sale to do that.
Yeah.
You know? And then moving forward from there is like once you like sell yourself and learn how to sell the product, now it's about like selling people on the vision with you.
Yes.
Because when you're by yourself, you can't do it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I talked to Alec about this too. Like he's such a huge part of like even what we're doing, and it's like even him, like he needs to bite off more than he can chew if we're gonna make this thing a reality.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like truthfully.
I think I went up to you right before I knocked on that guy's door. I remember vividly saying to him, like, this week's been a lot. And, like, just looking at your calendar and noticing you have 3 appointments
You're like
back to
how
back
the-
to back.
It doesn't even make
and you're
sense.
like, what the heck am I going to be doing? And you get, like, a sense of,
You don't have
like,
a second to eat.
yeah, no.
You didn't have a second to eat.
And you're just thinking about that, but then I started talking to him, like, wait a minute, like, this is exciting. Like, this is what I asked for. Like, give it to me. I want to see what I'm made of. Let's go.
Yeah, and it's those days that like you're getting the most experience. Like the other reps maybe might only be in 1 or 2 appointments, or maybe they did the same thing they were yesterday.
Right.
You're doing something different. You're in a whole nother situation. You know, and it's every week we're talking about something that's like
Yeah.
it's tough to say. You're like, oh, I've done this week. Yeah, you're like, oh, do you know what to do this with this?
Yeah.
It's a slow grind. You know, it really is a slow grind.
It's sometimes frustrating.
All the time it's frustrating. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
All the
but
time.
there's days where it's more than others.
Yeah.
There's days where there's an excess amount of, I don't want to say headaches, but it's going back to those dummy taxes. You know, I can get out of a meeting and be like, well, Sam would have sold them. Sam could have sold them today. That's reality. Or you go
Sometimes yes,
or you go
sometimes
up to a door. Sam would have known how to got around that objection. Sam could have put a smile on their face.
So, you got to be careful with those sayings, bro, because that is going to lead to like frustration. Like,
Right.
like misery.
But-
Truthfully,
but-
like that's like misery. It really is. Like when you talk about, you said earlier, like I compare myself to other people too
Yeah.
much. Like that right there was a fucking example of it. I didn't know you say that to yourself. That's crazy.
It's not every day, but if I go on a downward spiral, if there's any like not a spot, I don't want to say downward spiral. If there's
Just smoking cigarettes in front of 7-Eleven. Like, Alec? Dude, we're supposed to be in a meeting? He's got like he's asking for change.
if I'm ever in a dry spell, there's a sense of desperation, and that's when you lose the sale. You could be at a door.
Yeah.
If you're in a dry spell and you change the way you're doing it because you're like, oh, I gotta get this one, that's just the wrong mentality.
Yeah.
And I've been really trying to focus on, no, I'm gonna go help this person right now. That's the way it's mindset going into it.
Yeah.
So a big thing too. I don't know like how religious you guys are or what. I'm not really religious. Like, one of my buddies asked me to go to church with him, and I'm just like usually like, no, that's not really how I want to spend my Sunday. But I would say I'm very faithful. Like I have a lot of faith. And it's not that I necessarily have ever read the Bible really or anything like that, but I believe that like there's so much of this world that you can't even explain like at all, and a lot of things are just meant to be.
Like the pyramids.
Like the pyramids, right? Yeah. But, you know, I think that faith, you have to have faith. And in times like that, it sounds, when I hear that, I'm like, damn, there's no faith. Because you're like, Sam would have sold that.
Yeah.
It's not, Sam would have sold that, and I'm going to ask him how he sold that because I know I'm going to learn how to sell that person. Like, I have the faith that I'm going to be able to do that. Dude, I don't know if you remember me telling you this or not, but when I first started solar, my first 9 deals all canceled.
Huh.
You want to talk about dummy tax? That was expensive, okay? And it was something so stupid, dude. It was because, remember when we had the solar insure? And you'd add it as like the extended warranty?
Yeah.
I was pitching people that solar insure, and I didn't know you had to click a button to put it in there. So I'm sending them the agreement, and it doesn't say anything about 30-year warranty. So I'm just a liar, basically, at that point. So, dummy tax.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? But, like, it wasn't until 9 in a row where I was like, keep in mind, I'm by myself at this point. No one else. It's just Sam Island. And it's a lot different than Love Island, I can tell you that. But I'm just, like, solo dolo. 9 in a row, and I'm just like, how? Like, that's really the big question. How? What do I need to do? What do I need to change? Whatever I'm doing right now is not working. Something needs to be fixed, because it's just whatever. I'm driving a car with no wheels, basically, is what it felt like. I'm going nowhere. So, and then I finally started to understand, like, how to set the proper expectations, actually read through the agreement, actually understood what it said, because I was just trying to hit the gas before.
Right.
And dude, you're going to come to times like that, you know, and like you're coming to those times, you know, like now, but yours aren't probably as bad as mine, but you're going to use them as learning lessons. You have to use them as learning lessons, or they're going to keep happening, like why I did it 9 times in a row without learning.
Right. Dummy tax.
Dummy tax. And the dumber you are, the more tax you're going to pay until you smarten up and you start learning, what am I doing wrong? Big time.
You started this Main Energy. You started Main Energy Experts January of last year.
Yeah,
Was there like
I
a
look
plan?
back at it, it was actually like now like a year and a few weeks ago.
Okay.
technically.
Did you know you were getting into solar when you moved back up here? Or was there like a time when you didn't really know what your next plan was?
Nope. I actually moved back up here. I had a good idea I wanted to get into solar because I had one buddy who made over $1 million in 1 year selling solar. And I was like, how the fuck did he do that? And that was like crazy to me. So I was like, this product obviously has a ton of demand. It's a high ticket. for me, I went from selling pest control, which is a traditional, it's a confrontational sales style, is what you would call it. You're knocking on someone's door, and you're trying to get that deal closed that day.
Mm-hmm.
It's just give me a shot, man. What do you really have to lose? Like, all I need to know is a good cell phone number for you. And you're like just forcefully like almost signing them up. You can't do that in solar. Solar is more of a traditional sales style.
Right.
You're setting a meeting. You're building a relationship. This is something that's going to be on their roof for the next 25 years, right? It's more like a real estate agent approach, if that makes sense.
Right.
More like what a builder would be, is an approach.
Right.
It's called like more traditional sales style. So I was like, I did really well with what I had done, and now I want to learn like another level of sales. Like I thought about selling yachts in Fort Lauderdale. That'd be crazy. There was this one guy that was my old neighbor in Fort Lauderdale. He buys out old mortgages, basically, or buys out bad debt.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you had a business or something and you were defaulting, you hadn't made your past couple monthly payments, he'd basically buy it. Not necessarily pennies on the dollar, but just for a lot cheaper. And then he had a legal background, and he'd basically just hammer down on, whoever it was, taking them to court to get the money or take over the building.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that guy was killing it. I thought about going down and doing that with him. But the more I did research on solar, the more I was like, I love this product. I also do just want to stay up here for a little while because I believe that the part of Maine that I think we sleep on is the fact that there is no distractions.
Yeah.
And when I was in Fort Lauderdale, it was sick, don't get me wrong, but dude, everyone wanted to visit me, and it's like, they're on vacation.
You're not.
Right.
It was impossible to get anything done.
Yeah.
Which is why we had the method where we would do summer sales, and it was like, no one comes and visits, no girlfriends come and stay, really. It's just like, we're living in one apartment building together, and we're working from morning, 9 a.m., not getting home till 10:30, 11 at night, and doing that for 4 or 5 months straight, 6 days a week, and then we had our fun.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to be like, really realize like what Maine is. This winter is like a time where a lot of other people might be partying in other locations. Our party time is kind of more the summertime. But you got to take the winter time as like your time to grow, focus on yourself, get some shit done, because we all know when the sun's shining, we're trying to clock out early type of thing.
Sun comes out, bills go down.
You love that line. You love that line. You love that line.
I do. But all right, man. What I really want to know, some of your craziest experiences you've had in door-to-doors, whether it's customers. I know you've had some pretty insane competitions. What's some of like the craziest stories, the craziest people that you've worked with, talked to, anything?
All right. One time, I was running the office. This is like my 3rd year of pest control. And I was running the office. We had like 40 guys. And I was running meetings every day. Most of the time, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was just speaking from the heart. But I had to like win the group quick. So my method was like, I'm going to get rid of the cancer as fast as possible. We had like, I think we actually started with like 60 guys. And I shaved it down to like a room of basically 24, 25. Like fast. And was just like, I was honestly kind of a dick, like, to be honest with you. But I just kept saying every day, I don't care if you don't like me. I really don't. Like, that's not necessarily my job. Like, I'm here to help make sure you guys get paid and make sure this summer's a success. That's what I've been tasked with. So, like, if you're ruining it for everybody else, like, my job is to step in and get rid of you because you're pulling other people down. And I hope you guys understand that. There's no bad blood. And also, if you're out here and you're not doing well, you can make more money working at McDonald's. There's the door. Like, what are you doing here? At the same time, it's not a good fit for you either. So, there was this one kid, his name was Honcho. I hope Honcho hears this, because it's a huge story for him too, but it was called The Talk. What I'd do, I'd come in every day, I'd get up on the stage. Of course I had a stage. Needed to get a couple inches. So I would get in, I'd be like, I'd look over at the leaderboard, and if I saw someone had been like bailing, not doing well for a while, I'd be like, just point one of the other managers out. Like I'd be like, Wes, take the meeting. And Wes would be like, he'd get up and spew shit out of his ass. And I'd be like, Honcho, Eric, whoever, come with me. And like everyone's sitting there. So I just called out like 3 people in front of everybody to come into the back room.
Yeah.
And you'd see everyone go, like, he's getting the dog. He's getting the dog. So that was like kind of funny as hell, but it also made people so scared. And and I'm the smallest guy in the room, so it's like all kind of very funny. But I take Honcho and I tell both of these guys, I'm like, look, you can make more money like working at McDonald's. Like, it's really just not working out for you guys. Like, you know, I wish you the best of luck. We've really like tried our absolute best here, like with everything, but it's just not for you. Or you haven't put in enough effort. And Honcho fought me on it. He's like, well, give me one more week, whatever. I'm like, I just kind of caved. I was like, all right, one more week. If you don't get a sale a day this next week, you're gonzo. Kid snaps. And he was like my height, but dude, I had like 40, 50 pounds on him. Like, not snaps in a way like he freaked out at me, but he did good.
Oh, okay.
Selling.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I thought you meant he was like wanting to fight you.
No. Yeah, it sounded like that. And I realized that after when I saw your face. No, he just started, you're like...
I was ready for the craziest story.
No fights. He kicked me in the dick. He ended up doing so well, though, and a company competition came out, and I didn't even know what was going to happen. Randomly, I get put against him. Out of 176 people in the company.
Yeah.
Somehow, me and him get randomly selected to go against each other the first week. And he actually hated me. Like, I didn't know he hated me, by the way. Because like, I thought it was like a genuine, like, hey man, like, I really hope you wish you the best of luck. This dude was like, how dare he say that to me? He snapped. We faced each other for 3 days. He did $14,500 in pest control revenue, which, like, for a rookie, like, they were doing that in, like, really 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
It took most people to do that. He did it in 3 days. So, he killed it. And I was behind. And I'm losing. And he's the number 1 rep in the whole company. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening right now? I just really put to fire this kid, and he's the number 1 rep in the company. What is happening right now? And I'm talking to myself like this on the doors, going, pull it together, Sam, pull it together. And I'm talking to myself, going, I'm like, I'm gonna be the guy to make this happen. Like, my self-talk is there. Like,
yeah.
This is the fucking, like, people are rooting against me. Like, because everyone wants the underdog story.
Yeah.
Everyone's rooting for him. Everyone wants to see me lose. Like, everyone's against me. It came down to the last day. It was like a Saturday night. And I pull ahead of like a huge account. And it's like 11 o'clock. I call him up because like I'm ready to stay out. It's 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
It's pitch black out. I'm like, yo, are you still selling or not? Because like if so, I'm going to stay out. But like, don't lie to me. He's like, no, man. And I checked his location. He was at home. He was at the apartments. He's like, I couldn't because so-and-so didn't want to, drive me around. I was like, oh, damn, all right, well, whatever. Let's go to the bar, we'll have a drink. And I get to the bar, there for a little bit. All of a sudden, I hear someone go, oh my God, Honcho just got one! It's fucking 11:30. I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Competition ends at midnight. It's the end of the day, right? So I'm like, what the fuck? I'm so pissed off because like, dude, you fucking lied to me. We said no sandbagging. That's what it was called. You sandbag an account, right?
Yeah, then you pull it out.
Then you pull it out at the end, even though you should have put it up when you had it, right? And it was just a way to like get your competition to like slack. It's a way of cheating, you called it.
Yeah.
So I'm so pissed. Everyone's selling, bro, at the bar. My friends, like some of my best friends, are like selling against me. I'm like, yo, what the fuck are you selling for him for? I'm pissed. I'm like, I feel so backstabbed. Keep in mind, I'm still in my bug uniform. I'm still in full bug gear. So I go, fuck it. I run up the street. I'm hammered. I'm blacked out, basically. I'm like, I remember, I'm like, I can barely see. I'm like, my vision's getting blurry, and I'm just trying to run. I clocked it back. I ran 3 miles. It was a mile and a half there. Okay, so I ran a mile and a half there into the ghetto. Charlotte, North Carolina, like where the baby grew up. Okay?
The baby.
Yeah. No, seriously, ghetto. Like, anytime we sent a rep in that area, even remotely close, they got their Segway stolen or something. Their iPad stolen. And I'm in there at 11:30 at night. And I pull up, I walk up, I'm running, I'm on feet right now, and I see, dude, the houses are the shittiest houses you've, like, ever seen in your life. Like, it's terrible. Like, trash is in the yard. It says, like, beware. One place that I knocked on, it had a fence. It was like, step any further, we will shoot. Our dogs will, our dogs will attack, whatever. And I'm like, hello, I need to talk to you. I'm the bug guy. Like, just like Hail Marying of all Hail Marys, like so desperate. It's getting late now. It's like 11:50. Somewhere in there, I'm like, there's just like no way. I'm looking for lights. I see this one house has lights. I run up to it. I knock. It looks like someone's home. No one's there. I turn around in like almost full defeat. I'm like, fucking over. I lost. Sure enough, it's like some pimp fucking pulls in. He's got like huge fucking rims, dude. It's like a Cadillac, an old Cadillac that's just straight lifted with rims this high off the ground. I'm like, oh my god. Pulls into the house that I'm at. Hey, motherfucker! What the hell you doing, boy? He's just like, I'm like, yo, are you the homeowner of this house? He's like, who the fuck are you? I'm like, dude, I have been dying to talk to you. He's like, what the fuck? It's 11:30 at night. You're gonna get shot, man. And I'm like, dude, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm in this competition. You're gonna love what I have to say. I'm in this competition. This kid was cheating. I own a pest control company around here locally. Like, literally, it's a competition with pride on the line. I cannot let one of my guys beat me. I will give you the cheapest, best pest control you've ever had. I know everyone around here has the ants and the roaches. All I need is a good phone number for you. We just stayed silent. He's like, you said you do roaches, huh? I'm like, yes, sir, I do roaches. Where are you getting them? Like, right into the next question. We're talking about his problem. He's like, oh, well, they ain't really that bad. They get in the kitchen. I'm like, yeah, but dude, those things carry like bacteria, diseases, and shit. Like, I know you don't want that shit in there. Come on. I'm like, well, let me show you this. Typically, you call us out of the phone book, we're charging like $600-700 for something like this. Just because I'm in a competition, please don't tell anyone. I will literally do it for $99 for everything. He's like, $99, huh? I'm like, what's a good email for you? Gives me his email. Doesn't say anything else. I just keep asking the next question. Is this the address? Is this? Awesome. So here's the agreement. I just put you on the trial here. It's not even that long. It's only a year. If you want to continue it past then, go for it. But that's what everyone else is doing. Go through all the details. I go, perfect, quick signature there, and we'll get you set up for tomorrow. in at 11:59. Locked in. I swear to God, true story. I cannot make it up. And I ran back to the bar. Everyone was fucking deflated. Deflated. And I come in with Kirk Cousins energy. I'm like, you like that? You like that? What's up, bitch? And a bunch of people. We have a whole company group chat, like 176 people. There was these guys from some other office that were fucking cheerleaders. Cheerleaders. They're calling me, dude, they would call me like a midget. They would call me like everything in the book, like just making fun of my height. And like, I just like blew up on them. I'm like, how do you like that? Like, go back to your boyfriend on the cheering team, like saying like all these chirps, and I was just like unleashing. But that was probably the craziest story.
That's awesome.
That I've had. I sold one lady pest control at like something crazy like that, like 11 o'clock at night, but the 11:59 was the latest. And everyone's like, dude, I can't. That's why I laugh. People go, I can't knock on a door at 8. It's too late. I'm like, dude, it's not too late. It's never.
You never know. Maybe in Maine, but
it's never too late. But yeah, dude, you gotta fucking chase those stories, because that's the shit that you will tell for the fucking rest of your life. You just gotta do the crazy shit.
Yeah.
You just gotta do it.
That's nuts.
What did Honcho say?
Oh, Honcho was like, dude, me and him were the top 2 reps in the whole company. So it was like a mutual respect, because like he killed it. And then from then on, the rest of the summer, he killed it. He ended up being like a top 3 rep. So he was pumped, because he didn't even know what he was capable of until like, he was faced with that shit. So he was pumped. He ended up doing really well. I know he does sales now. He's a really smart kid, but kind of same thing. He's got that entrepreneurial spirit. I'm sure he'll start a business of his own someday. Super nice kid, funny kid, but he ended up, I think, not hating me. But for that
Probably
time
thanking
being,
you now.
Yeah, big time. She said I had to think of some other stories. What the hell else we have? Dude, like, I'd say the biggest things that I remember is, like, going into some people's houses that were, like, hoarders that, like, were just disgusting. Like, fleas, rats, nastiest houses I've ever seen. And, my eyes are just like, this is the scum of the whole earth. It cannot get worse than this.
Yeah.
Right here. And, I just will never forget that. One last funny story that I would say I yelled at everyone for bageling. I'm like, you should never bagel. It means you get 0 in a day.
Oh, okay.
You should never bagel. Like, if you want to be remotely good at this job, you have to get something every day. And that day I bageled. Literally, I hadn't bageled in like 5 fucking years, and I fucking bageled that day. I stayed out till legitimately midnight and like bageled, truly bageled. Like, I was like, that is the most embarrassing thing ever. But yeah, shit happens, dude. Like, I got some embarrassing stories, I got funny stories.
There we go. You get it all in sales.
Yeah.
You get a little bit of everything.
I feel like you don't build character in a lot of other jobs like you do in sales. Like, I'll make like, Hayden's always a great kid, but you really saw him blossom once he got into sales. And the same thing with him. Like, once they got into sales, their personalities opened up.
I have to show you a video of Hayden. I've been wanting to post it, dude.
Was it him in the car?
Him in the car, first time he started with me. I'm like, Hayden, like, what do you think about your first day? He's like, it was good. Like, I don't know, he's just like super quiet. Yeah, I don't know. And then as the time goes on, he's like,
he's crazy.
Yeah, letting it all go.
It in real estate right
I know,
now.
he's killing it.
Yeah.
He's killing it.
In his first month or 2, he has 4 houses down. Or I think he has 4 house sales or something like that. But
Yeah, that's fire.
I texted him the other day. I was like, glad you're doing well. I haven't seen him. He's been
That
working.
guy that he's working with sold my parents' house, Adam.
Adam, he's really successful.
He's a psycho when it comes to selling, bro. He's a workaholic
Yeah.
for sure, and he does it right too. Like, my mom does closings, so she sees real estate agents come in,
Yeah.
and she said like she'll see some real estate agents come in with their clients, and they're just like sour. Like, whatever the real estate agent is telling them, they're like, don't like the bank, or they don't like the selling agent. Like, they have like a bad relationship. She's like, every single time Adam comes in with one of his clients, like, they somehow just love, like, they get along really well with, like, whoever's on the other side of the table. Everything's easy. Everything's seamless. So, that guy's a G, dude. He's been doing it for a while. I mean, the amount of houses he sells, he's got to be making, like, I have no idea, but simple math. I know what
He
real
didn't told
estate
me a
fees are.
number, but it was, I don't know exactly what it was.
Great amount of money, I can tell you that.
No, Hayden's really
Four.
excited. He's working under him. So, he's had 2 great mentors, you know?
I broke him out of his shell. I broke him out of his shell.
Did.
But,
Probably
again,
scary.
I remember talking to him when he was debating going to school or staying and working with us, and I was just like, dude, you're going to resent me if I don't tell you to, like, go try this. If this is something you really have been thinking of doing for your whole life, like, you're going to resent me if you don't just go for it.
Yeah.
Um,
But you definitely played a role in he wouldn't be the same just jumping into real estate. You know what I mean? Like, he started with you, and that benefited him tremendously. At least because he was still going through school. It was kind of like a summer/part-time thing for a while, right?
pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'd say it was, well, he was doing, what, an online class and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was doing a lot. You were too, though.
Yeah, I had online classes too.
Yeah. Really, like, pushing through. That's, like, the worst time, I feel like. That last year of college, you're like, get me out of here.
I was taking bullshit classes too,
Yeah.
which is like the worst part.
Yeah.
I was taking like literature of medicine.
Yeah, it's like, what is this gonna do? Teacher's like really trying to sell you on, like, this is like, you want to know this.
Yeah. I took world history. Do you know what the king in 201 BC? I don't fucking know.
Did you go to, where'd you go to school?
Endicott.
Oh, that's right.
I went for 2 years. I didn't finish.
Yeah.
I'm a dropout.
That's
College
alright.
dropout.
Rock it.
It's part of the story.
It is part
Did
of
you
the
have to
story.
take out student loans?
No.
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 That's nice.
No.
That's really fucking nice.
Yeah, I'm more fortunate than most, to say the least.
Yeah. I want to ask you, you keep talking about sales, you keep talking about, like, you think that's the best thing to
I was
do.
waiting for this.
When do you come sell with us? No. I knew that's what you were thinking I was going to say. I was actually going to say, what do you have your eyes set on?
I don't know. I just want to get into the actual universe of sales. It's not about the money right now. It's about the skill set. You know what I mean? Because I have one skill set right now. Well, one industry skill set, rather than a personality or like a business skill set, I guess. But I feel like I'm pretty social, but I want to learn more about the science behind it. Because you talk to people and like there's like I listen to you guys talk, like there's a science behind sales.
Okay.
Like it's more than people think. When you think about sales, you just think about somebody who's trying to convince somebody, but there's a real science that you don't see as an outsider.
I don't even want to say it's an issue, but like, no two people are the same. So, like, we're going back to this copy and paste thing. It doesn't really work. Like every time, there's always a different hiccup thrown at you, you know, and you're thinking on your feet, which is hard. I would say it's hard. You can't just like look at something, read it, and be like, oh yeah, they said
you
that.
gotta
I'm supposed to
respond.
say that.
Yeah.
So like, yeah.
No, I think
I would
it's
say that.
it's more of the benefits in everything. I want to get into the sales because it's beneficial in every other aspect. You know what I mean? I see the potential of the skill set.
I don't want to make a huge switch up on the Be The Product. It's like a super alpha brand here. Yeah. I hate to ask this question, but you guys watch Love Is Blind?
Wait, that's the one when like they
Don't
talk,
act like you
yes.
don't, by the way.
No,
I know. Be The Product. It's in his alpha podcast, dude. Love Is Blind last night. But dude, I think what was that girl? Who was the girl that's like a smoke show that has the daughter? You see it?
Yeah,
Is it
yeah,
Jess or something like that?
I don't know.
Was
I don't know,
talking to
like,
that. And then the guy ended up choosing the girl who said she looked like Megan Fox.
Yeah. Who was divorced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That girl who was definitely the hotter one, I was like watching it thinking she sucks at sales.
Mhm.
She sucks at sales. Because
Yeah.
she had so much more to offer. She really did than the other girl. I think everyone thinks that, like, watching it. But the way she sold herself was not as good as the other girl.
Exactly.
She came off too desperate. She, like, was like, you're my one, you're my one, you're my one, you're my one.
Yeah.
And I think he ended up liking the other girl because she had another guy in play.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of like a little bit of a chase.
Yeah.
And we talk about that, like, and I think you need that, especially in the traditional side of sales, where you don't really hard close because they can cancel at any time. You need that pullback.
Yeah.
You need that chase. You need them to keep like wanting more.
Yeah.
Wanting more.
Yeah.
So, we definitely, I don't want to say we stretch the truth because it's not necessarily not true that they can get denied, but like I totally make it very clear like what their vision would be like, what their life would be like if they got denied from solar. I'm like, yeah, here's the thing, like we don't even really know if you can get this.
Yeah.
Like we could get denied from CMP, PUC, the town, and if that's the case, like I'm really sorry. I hope you don't get mad at me. I hope you don't give me a bad review, but you will be stuck with CMP for the rest of your life.
Yeah, that's a great switch up because it makes
Yeah,
them
like
feel
they're so excited and they're like, oh fuck.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I can't promise you. Like,
it makes it seem like a luxury.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Which it kind of
It is.
It is. Okay. All right.
It's like why all the girls want the guy that's not quite ready for a relationship yet.
Yeah, and then as soon as you, I don't know.
That may sound bad.
I don't know because I just I'm on the wrong.
Girls be watching this like,
No girls watch this, bro. The only girls watching this are our moms.
Sorry, mom. Sorry, mom.
Seriously.
Yeah. You think your mom's watching through and through?
Yeah, my mom does.
Yeah.
Really?
My mom does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she always says, "You swear way too fucking much." I'm like, what?
Where do you think I got it from?
Yeah, she swears way worse than me. But
That is crazy. I don't know if my mom would. If I had a podcast, I don't know if my mom would watch it. Start to finish.
Yeah, well,
She might get the spark notes.
yeah, exactly. She'll see the clips and post
Yeah,
the
see the clips.
Yeah, she would see
the
that.
highlights.
Yeah. She probably wouldn't want to hear all of what I'm talking about. Your moms are very different. Your moms are like super involved. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're tight too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going on a trip together, getting wild. Who knows they're doing all this shit, bro?
Stop it.
Who knows they're doing all this shit? They're going crazy. They're going crazy, I bet. Gambling casino.
No.
Dude,
My
where
mom
do
doesn't
you
gamble.
think you get it from, dude? I saw you at Puerto Rico. I
Whoa!
saw you. Where do you think
Mom,
you get it
don't
from?
listen. I don't gamble. That's her mom.
She's walking back over to the ATM, dude. Gotta win it back. I can see it, dude. Where do you think you get it from, dude? It's from your parents. Like, you are just a recreation of your parents. You think you're so different.
They definitely have a secret life then. If that were true, they have a secret life.
I'm actually gonna go a step even farther and say I think our parents are more savage than us.
Nah.
My
sorry,
mom,
I'm
my
not
mom,
giving you that.
my mom back in the day had some crazy stories, but my dad's just been a grinder. He was never really.
Didn't go nuts.
What do you mean by
my
more
mom.
savage?
Like, I mean like that, like partying, like, or like just.
My mom has crazy stories. Let's expose my mom real quick. My mom, this is the same lady that like would walk downstairs when we're like 17 in the basement and be like, I smell babes. Like, no, she like we were scared of her, but
She hated me, I thought.
Yeah,
I played my music in the car. She'd turn around. That's what you fucking listen to? I'm so sorry, Danielle.
we were all scared of my mom.
Wait, like you played it when she was driving?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was young though.
I would never dare to do that. I would never dare to do that with my friend's mom. No way.
He played like a Lil Wayne
Yeah,
song
can I
in
get on
6th
Aux?
grade
I would-
on Ox. Like, but she tells me stories about how like they stole my mom or my grandmother's car when she was 14, and like they just would like go party. I'm like, you guys are crazy, and then they yell at me for like the stupidest little stuff.
Yeah. So, yeah, your mom was
Yeah.
way more
No, my
savage.
mom was wild.
My
Yeah.
parents would cross the border and go drink
Mexico?
in Canada.
Oh, yeah, true, because they're up that way.
Yep.
Yeah, they were. I know Keith. I already know. Animal. I already know.
Picture.
Yeah, I can picture it perfectly. Tank stands, the whole thing. Dude, my mom told me stories, same kind of thing. It's like, she would just, all of her younger 20s, like, she didn't really focus much on her career. It was just like, where are we going tonight? Like, go out, party, go to bed at like 3, wake up still drunk, and basically hit it to work the next day, like, hungover.
Yeah.
Do it all again.
Yeah. Well, that was me in college, but
Yeah.
playing college sport, like, and I wasn't there.
During the week, though, still?
Dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, during the week, I, like, didn't really. Well, I lied. We had Tuesdays. We did.
It was nonstop. I didn't sleep in college, like.
That's probably why you dropped out.
No, my grades were good. I didn't fail out.
said, like,
I just didn't want to go back because I felt like a bum in school, honestly. I felt like I was getting behind, and I thought that being here I could start building a life rather than, I didn't see anything out of my degree, but I don't know. My junior and senior year were probably more of the important classes for the degree, though. Because I was doing all the electives and everything before, and I just hated it. I was like, my business classes I liked. But
How important do you think school is?
I don't find it very important. I think that it's more of a thing to show your success to somebody. Show that you can be disciplined in something. You know what I mean? If you're applying for a job or something, you're showing somebody that you can do it and you got it done. You know what I mean? I see that aspect of it, but I don't plan on using it for anything anyway. I'm going to go make it myself. But I don't know. I see that aspect if you're going the corporate world or doing something like that, but I just didn't find that the learning experience was beneficial for me.
Yeah. A lot of people say that. A lot of people do. What do you think?
I think you got to look at it as less school, and it's more. You can tie it into reality very easily. Homework, to me, was like, well, it's studying after hours. Now, that's how I look at it. Now, being in sales, it's, you know, you're on the job, okay, you're in class.
Yeah.
But it's what you do after class that actually makes you successful for when the test comes. So you can look at school in that aspect, and it teaches you that way. The only issue that I really have with it is they are teaching you to work for someone else.
Facts.
So, I mean, I was talking to Sammy today, actually, and, you know, he was talking to me how he was taking some bullshit classes, and I'm like, yeah, why are we even taking those? If it's not something that you do want to study, to me, that part of it is a waste of time. But if you're trying to get a degree in something, they're going to teach you all areas of that, and you're going to find different passions in different aspects. Like, I took a real estate investing course.
Yeah.
To me, that was the sickest course I ever took.
Facts.
I had the luxury of taking that.
Those get you by.
Absolutely. And it was part of my finance curriculum. So, like, I loved that.
I think that the pieces that you really take away from it, like you kind of said, is showing people that you could do it. But when you say do it, like, what was it? For me, it was like taking some of the hardest classes in the school I tried to take. But also, I think when you're juggling 5 classes at once that are all really difficult, time management. That's what I learned. And I was so bad at time management. I'm still not the best at it. But block scheduling was like something I really figured out, like how to really use a calendar, like to your benefit. And like that's what Elon does. That's what Bill Gates does. Like all those guys, they do block scheduling to like the absolute nines. They have every minute of their whole day like blocked.
Yeah.
And the other piece is like you said, you know, you're teaching you to work for somebody else, but at the same time, you also have to work for yourself.
Right.
So you do have to kind of like oftentimes that's what I find myself doing is like what needs to get done this week. And it's like when you're in startup mode, like you're just assigning that shit to yourself.
Right. Right.
And then you have to do it, and then you got to do your homework. And if you don't do your homework, well, you don't get an F in this. Yeah, right. you flunk the test, but realistically, what happens is you
gotta retake it.
You flunk that whole.
Right.
It ain't pass. Well, I guess it's pass fail in the sense that your business will either go out of business or not, but
Yeah. That's. But not enough people look at it that way. But I feel like
you have to look at it that way. Everything in life is freaking perspective, I think. But also you could look at it that way too. Like whatever you chose, you have to look at it the best way and commit.
Mm-hmm.
You have to commit. If you don't go to college, you're like, I can start getting something else done. Well, then you have to go for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
With 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you're just half-assing it. Like,
You're just stuck in the middle and you ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know? Can't ride the train with 1 foot in. You end up smushing the track somewhere. Just came up with that.
Quote it. Samuel
Yeah,
Legere.
Quote it.
Yeah.
Talking trains.
Yeah.
Clip it.
But yeah, also I think a big thing is being a learner.
Mm.
Dude, you if you want to grow, you got to be a learner.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, what can't you figure out if you're a learner? Like if you're a learner, you can figure anything out.
Yeah.
I think that's like one of the best skills to have is just being a learner. Like, that would be so useful for my business. Like I want to learn about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
You're always learning. Every day there's a new lesson.
I feel like that's a big part of my day right now, to be honest with you. Like I said, you go through the steps that I think are like the winning process. You go sales, learn how to sell, learn how to teach people how to sell, and then learn how to scale. And I feel like I'm just now getting into my own business. I'm really learning how to like scale better. And you start your own business, you wear every single hat in the whole business. You do the books, you do a lot of sales, you do recruiting, you do interviews, you do whatever the heck it is, managing a website, managing this, managing that. And it's like, I technically am juggling 5 classes at once right now. And I gotta understand that if I'm putting my effort in on one, I'm leaving one down, I'm gonna get an F over there.
Yeah.
But like learning Facebook ads, I didn't know how to do Facebook ads.
Right.
I mean, I did an Instagram ad before. I just said Target, whatever. Like it was for my clothing company. I said Target, everyone who follows Nike, like that type of stuff. But to the point that makes it a business, makes it really scalable. Like, what are you gonna look for? What should I start expecting for like a return on that investment?
Yeah.
Because I can't just hire someone necessarily I don't know and trust what they're gonna do. I gotta know a little bit.
Especially if you're going to give them an important role. And the stuff that you're juggling are all important roles at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Have you ever messed with like AI?
Oh yeah. What type of
stuff's
AI? I mean, that's like a huge...
Yeah, the stuff's insane nowadays. I don't know what you can do with it. Writing emails. You can put your thoughts towards it, and they'll fucking...
That email you came up with the other day, I was like, this is fire.
Well, shout out ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's just like, it's still your thoughts. It's still what we want, the message that we want to get across. They just really formalize it for you. That saves you an extra 25, 30 minutes just by putting it in there.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
And I think it's really going to just change. I really see the way of the future being that the simple things are going to start getting automated, and all those people that like being the homebodies and just doing their checklist tasks every day are the people that are going to get replaced. And it's the people who are really creative and the people who can like bring real value to people's lives are the people that are all the money's going to go towards.
Right.
Do you guys, like, I see the future being like, things are going to be so, like, outsourcing, like AI, we have a robot, like, cleaning our house, doing this, whatever.
Yeah.
What if we get a robot that, like, can just build houses and you just let it go and it's going all night long? Are we going to hit a point where everyone just gets free housing? Because it's like, the government can just buy robots and give everyone free housing.
Freaking nice.
Do you think we'll ever get to the point where you don't need to work?
No.
Because we've automated.
Don't need to work?
Nope, don't need to work. We've automated the whole process. We have robots doing our crops, getting our food, and building our houses.
Because there's always going to be a person that wants to be in control. So the people in control want to keep the people below them working or doing something for them or busy. You know what I mean? Because they want power. at the end of the day, you have money and everything else. At the end of the day, after you have billions of dollars, what do you want? You want power. You want influence over people. You know what I mean? How does anybody have power,
some people
influence?
yes and some people no.
No, I'm just saying the majority. Once you have everything, what else is there?
So you think that what's going to stop the world from getting there is the people that want...
They can't give everybody the same thing. You know what I mean? Not everybody can have an excellent life.
I'm saying, well, what about the government giving that? Like, what if the government did that? The almighty power said...
There are 3D printing houses. As we speak. It's already a thing. Like 3D printing houses. There, I saw on the doors, someone had like a self-driving lawnmower. It was like a Roomba, but it was a lawnmower. I'm like, all right, see you, landscapers. But I think one industry that will always survive, sales. I think people rather interact with humans than robots. So any new product that comes, you're going to want to deal with a human.
Yeah, who's got the money?
Right.
People hold the money.
Right.
You want to learn how to get the money from them, you got to learn how to sell.
Yep.
No, it's honestly crazy. And that's another thing with money is if you want to be successful, you got to start thinking about the future. I mean, all the people that have the real money are the people that bought into Bitcoin before it blew up. Or like, you know what I mean? You got to see the future. You got to see everything's going to have AI. Well, how can you incorporate that? Or like you said, robots. Like, how can you get in control of the robots to make money off of it? You got to start thinking ahead, which is hard to do because you can't foresee the future. But
all those clips that you see on Instagram, AI. Literally takes to your most viral moments.
Wait.
All of our clips are AI.
All of our clips are AI.
No way.
Yeah, we just upload the video.
We upload the whole video, and it picks out
The most clippable
moments and types out everything for you.
How accurate would you say it is?
Not very. I still go in and drag it around to clips that I like better because I can go in and switch it, but it gives you like 12 good ones that they're decent. If I don't like them, I can change them or
do a little bit tweak.
Yeah, I can tweak them, but it adds the words automatically. I can add the logo to the top, which I do, and then you can change the color of the words, the patterns. Like, it's pretty cool. It's easy.
It's very easy.
It saves me, both of us, a fuckload of time.
So much time.
Dude, you know how long it would take to
editing is the longest thing ever.
Yeah.
Dude, my girlfriend does like wedding photography and videography, and dude, she's been working on this like wedding video for the last 4 days. So I'm like, there's got to be a way to just like outsource that.
Yeah.
I think the long form is
we edit.
It's hard. We edit the long form.
Yeah. So every single time that you talk and the camera angle changes,
that's us switching.
That's us switching it. So you have to go in and realistically you watch the video like fucking 5 times. Like after this. You know what I mean?
How much actual time goes into
per week?
Per week, one video editing. Well, first of all, how many clips do you get out of it?
Probably like I try to post every day. Okay. So I post on all the social medias.
We want to get like 7 clips for it.
7 clips.
7 clips per video.
Per video.
Per like.
Yeah, because I'm just trying to post 1 clip a day.
Yep.
I could do more, but I feel like right now we're posting enough. I don't want to overship it. And not.
But then you also get the long form too.
So the long form, yeah.
The long form, that's what takes the longest right now.
So we kind of divided the roles. So he's doing the editing for the long term, like the edit for the video. I'm doing all the socials. So I post every day. I do all the cuts. I do all that.
Wow. How much time total?
For this one?
Well, this one's a long one.
This one's long.
But, it is? How long has it been?
Oh, yeah, hour and a half.
Okay, the conversation's good.
Dead ass?
Yeah. Doesn't it go by quick?
Yeah.
Well, I was like, I feel like it's going to be the shortest one. I thought it was. Wow.
Realistically, to do the long form, probably like 4 solid hours sitting down.
Yeah. And the socials.
The socials is like,
but
it probably takes like an hour.
It's more like the download and like, and then I go through. Depends, because sometimes it gives me good ones. Sometimes I gotta like literally go through and watch the whole thing until I find something that I like.
I think it works. It works out good because I'll sit down on a Friday and Saturday and do it, but he's like on it in the mornings and then the evenings doing the short form, posting it, making sure that we're up to date on everything.
How are you guys when you see yourself and hear yourself talk? And what do you think about yourself?
I try my best.
To not be judgmental too much?
No, I critique myself because I liked what Andrew Tate said. He said that when he first started like public speaking, he went back and literally just watched himself on fucking repeat. And I don't care what people say. If you like him, you don't like him. He talks very well. Like the way he talks, the way he portrays his
Andrew
messages.
Tate or Andy Elliott? Which one
No,
did you say?
Andrew Tate.
Andrew Tate.
The way he like portrays his messages, the way he gets it across. He everything that he says is very, very particular, and it
He's funny though.
Yeah, he is.
Kinda, like he really does. He speaks a lot of like truth, like hard truth mixed with like a
Trolling.
comedic- Yeah. It's really good to have that mix. I think he's a genius when it comes to that stuff for sure.
We would look at our first video that we did. Within the first 5 minutes, I think we both said the word like. You know, those filler
Dude.
words, those like. Within the first 10 minutes, we looked at each other like, this has to freaking stop.
If you go back and watch a video now that we said it, like if we didn't tell you about it, you probably wouldn't notice. But now if you went back and watched it, you would. Every other word says like. I don't
You're
know,
such a
it's
good
just-
talker.
Yeah, you're a
dude.
good talker.
Wow. You guys gassed me up. I'm gonna have to watch this back. I have no idea. I'm gonna watch it back. Put it in 4 hours real quick.
There we go.
But yeah.
Sam, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Bro, I wasn't done. No. Thanks, boys. I fucking love you guys. You guys are awesome. This is
locally.
Sunday locally.
Give
I'll get some glass on the roof.
And that's always be the product.
Be the fucking product.